Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea. Today is Thursday, December 5th, in this great year of 2024 that seems to be going by really, really fast, like it has somewhere to be. We have my favorite Taurus, the Queen of Happiness here. And I don't want to say his name too loud because I don't know if he's working currently, and I don't want to get him in trouble. So we'll just call him a Capricorn King. And we are going to get started in just a second. And shout out to my favorite Taurus, Will, who suggested two pop-up blocker ads. Well, I was able to add them as extensions. So so far it looks like it's doing its thing. I put both of them that you suggested on there. I'm like, hell, it can't hurt to have double the protection. So
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad they're helping. Like one thing, the first one I mentioned, this ain't sparred, so I'm not gonna say the name. But the first one that I mentioned, um, it's actually great because it includes ads within videos as well. So
yes.
about like your certain websites who specialize in streaming that have heavy ad presence that blocks like 95% of them. So keep that in mind.
Whew, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Cause woo, honey, them ads will put me through it. Can't even look at a web page. And then the crazy thing is about ads, like you'll be in the middle of reading something, and then it'll pop up and you lose your place. I'm like, girl, nobody got time for this.
If they don't take their broke asses somewhere and allow us to escape the content the way it's intended, please.
Exactly. Can't stand how they always trying to monetize something on Happy's internet. Happy, I think you need to make an executive decision, girl, or something, because it's getting out of hand. And we will be getting started in just like maybe another minute. We have what I think is some good tea for y'all today. And I've decided I'm gonna go ahead and have a show tomorrow as well. But Happy suggested, and I was actually thinking about this. I thought about doing it last weekend because, especially since I didn't have a show all week, I want to do a weekend show, like a surprise weekend show. I don't know if it'll be on Saturday or Sunday, but just to see. Well, one is kind of a test to see if I can get a little bit more people, a little more listeners to come into the live sessions when they don't have to work during the weekday. Oh, breaking news: a earthquake in California. Well, isn't that on brand for y'all in California? No shade, because like all three of y'all that's in here is from California, right? So I don't want no smoke. But isn't like that's kind of like North Carolina and rain? Like it kind of happens very often.
Yeah, but they're increasing in number and intensity as well. I've noticed over the past year or two. Even though I'm not there, of course I pay attention. And so they have like I was reading online. They have like a tsunami warning in Northern California as well. So I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Mm-mm. Well, my heart goes out to the Californians. I tell y'all, oof. I'm telling me and Happy, we have had this conversation before. The idea of because I've never experienced an earthquake before, and well, I'm lying. We did the new in New York, 2011. We had that very, very, very minor earthquake that I thought it was gas. I was like, "Oh, what's that? Why am I feeling like this?" But we learned that it was an earthquake, but a very small one. But just the idea of the earth like cracking and moving below my feet, that just scares the hell out of me, honey. So that's why if you see me in California, somebody done kidnapped me and took me over there, cause I might go over to California and get me a good donut. Y'all do them donuts right. I give y'all that. Quinn, hi, favorite Libra. The donuts because of the Cambodians. I know that's right. What was the name of that donut spot I went to? I would think it was called California Donuts, oddly. I think that was the name of the spot, and I had some good don it was like one I had it well, I had a couple of them because I'm a fat bitch with no self-control, so I was able to get some kind of a donut that had, like, some Fruity Pebbles on it, a cookies and cream type donut. Oh my god, it was out of this world. A matcha donut. Oh my god, I'm my mouth watering thinking about it right now. Happy, ship me some of them donuts. Quinn, hey boo.
Hey, Auntie. What kind of donuts you was talking about? From where?
From California. I think the place was called. I'm like 90% sure it was called California Donuts.
Oh, I thought you was talking about Voodoo Donuts. Is it Voodoo Donuts? Voodoo
Well, well,
something?
well no. What's a voodoo donut? Because what? And why am I intrigued?
Because they do the same kind of thing. I think they're a chain, but I went to one in Houston. Had to be Houston, but they got different flavor donuts, like a whole bunch. Diabetes all around.
Yeah, that's my kind of carrying on.
I got to a point like there's so much. This how I know I'm getting up in age because baby, when I be seeing certain things in the store, no, this night ain't nothing but pure sugar. This is just going to put me down. This is gonna give me an insulin spike, and I'm going to be down for the count. I don't need none of this. None of it.
I know
Don't
that's
give me the
right.
sugars.
I'm gonna look that up because I don't think matter of fact, let me Google it real quick because I don't think is it maybe that's exclusive to the West? Voodoo Donuts. Let me see if they have any like near me.
Okay, girl.
Yeah, I don't. Let me see locations: Denver, Portland, Seattle,
What
Texas,
else? Oh,
Austin, and
Texas.
Chicago. Yeah, so it looks like it's like mostly for the West. I've never even heard of this chain. Well, anyway, child. Well, let's get started with the tea, honey. So I'm doing my best chill voice. Tea time. So the first piece of tea I have, we have information about how Diddy is spending his holidays behind bars. Y'all know I like to start off the show with some Diddy news, the latest Diddy news. And I just posted a TMZ link, and y'all see the headline that says Diddy's first Christmas behind bars features sports, games, and a holiday meal, honey. So let's go and let's dig in. Let's see what he's doing. So, TMZ sources in the federal government tells them that at MDC Brooklyn, where Diddy's being held as he awaits his trial for the sex trafficking case, he will be able to participate in some friendly competition on Christmas Day, including card games and dominoes. In addition to a spades tournament and a dominoes competition, Diddy and his fellow inmates will be able to take part in a 3-on-3 basketball tournament and a soccer competition. And with all these activities, Diddy's and his of fellow inmates, they're likely to work up an appetite, of course. So they got their hands on the prison menu featuring a special Christmas meal. And what y'all think this Christmas meal is? Just out of curiosity, what y'all think they're gonna be having in jail for Christmas?
Expired ice cream, moldy bread, and
Turkey,
hot dogs. Yeah.
turkey, cornbread. What's that? Cranberry sauce and some kind of cake.
So Quinn, you are actually the closest. So it appears that so they're going to be Diddy will be chowing down on baked Cornish hen, macaroni and cheese, cranberry sauce, dinner rolls, and a holiday dessert for lunch. Now they just put holiday dessert in quotes, so they didn't go into what the dessert will be. And then that's for lunch, but then for dinner they're gonna have the normal slop that they have been having.
Which is another word for what? Expired.
No, habit they will not be having a McRib because you can't reward them with a good time. You leave my McRib out of this, honey. They could never. That is the McRib is for civilized people.
Oh, is that what they call it? Interesting.
Now the next Diddy story that I have. So his attorneys are actually demanding that his oh, I missed that. I said never. Okay. Never. Okay. Never, honey. Well, one thing that's never going to happen, Diddy won't be getting that lap. He will never get that laptop while he's in jail. And y'all see, I just shared a new article on slide 3 where you see the headline: Diddy demands access to his laptop while he remains behind bars. Well, and that headline is kind of misleading because it's not really Diddy; it's his legal team that's demanding that he have access to a laptop. And this story goes on to say, says Diddy's legal team made a new filing demanding that he have access to a laptop behind bars in order to plan for his upcoming trial. They allege that the Metropolitan Detention Center is restricting access to restricting access to a laptop despite the government providing one that he could use. With the laptop, he will be able to review discovery, take notes related to his case, and otherwise assist in his defense. It says, quote, Megan Cunham, y'all know Megan the Bob, Megan the reporter. She says in her report on this, she says Mr. Combs still has not been provided with the laptop despite numerous inquiries by defense counsel. Finally, this morning, the government informed the defense counsel that after consultation with the MDC counsel, Mr. Combs has two options related to his laptop. He can either one, he will only be provided with the laptop in the unit's teleconference room during select times with his legal staff is available, and when that room is not otherwise being used during other inmates' legal calls. Or the second option, he will only be able to be provided with the laptop in the legal visiting room between the hours of 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., but not both. So, uh, Diddy's lawyers then described the options as untenable while arguing that no other inmate have to deal with such measures. I mean, no other inmate is Diddy, but whatever. They continue. His defense continued. They significantly limit the time available for Mr. Combs to use the laptop and force Mr. Combs to choose between using the laptop and meeting with his attorneys, who often meet with Mr. Combs over video teleconference. There is also no justification for these restrictions. I could actually see there's several justifications for these restrictions, but okay. But what we do know, he won't be getting that laptop anytime soon. It's like yes, because that man he gonna go right on his Gmail and start sending threatening emails to everybody he know, everybody he got saved in his Google contacts. They doing right. Keep that man away from anything that he can connect with people with, unless it's recorded, like them jail telephone calls. I think. And then this last piece of Diddy news that kind of piggybacks off of this, because they're actually saying that the feds are actually spying on Diddy while he's in jail. And I'm over here like, well, duh. He's in this federal lockup. But yeah, y'all see, I just shared on slide 4 this TMZ article. Diddy accuses feds of spying on him behind bars and violating his rights. And it says Diddy's defense team is coming out swinging against the prosecution, accusing the federal government of unfairly spying on him amid his ongoing detention. In new documents obtained by TMZ, Diddy's legal team says the feds have trampled Diddy's constitutional rights and hindered Diddy's ability to fairly prepare for his upcoming trial behind bars. As the lawyers put it, the feds flagrantly invaded Diddy's confidential communications with his attorneys, once again calling in question the raid on the Bad Boy Records founder's cell at MDC Brooklyn. Diddy's team claims the government has been working with the Federal Bureau of Prisons, the BOP staff, who have monitored Diddy's communications, including handwritten notes between himself and counsel, and says the prosecutors have then used some of these materials to argue against allowing Diddy to be released on bail. These attorneys say that one particular staffer took a photo of the notes and sent them to the prosecutors in the case. And they say the government orchestrated the jail sweep under the false pretext of a security concern. They also call out how the person who raided Diddy's cell even got their hands on highly debated notes, saying that the material was not stored in Diddy's bunk like prosecutors previously claimed. Rather, Diddy's team says that he kept his documents in his locker, seemingly poking holes in the prosecution's version of how they came into custody of the notes. So yeah, I, they bury him under the jail and throw away the key. Hey, Calvin, and yes, I agree with you. However, it's kind of like uh, it's kind of I definitely do believe that the feds are doing this, but I mean I don't feel sorry for Diddy. I hate that his rights are being violated by, like this. Really, I do. But look at all the damage he's done. Oh, that's a good question, Happy. Do prisoners have rights behind bars? I I would imagine they have human rights, but other than that, like I don't know, because everything their meals are monitored. They're well not monitored. They're told when they can eat. They're told when they can sleep. They're pretty much told when they can shit and shower. So I don't know.
So is Daddy, Diddy in federal prison?
I don't know. Let me Google this really quick because the detention center he's held at. I think so. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes because remember Sam Beckman Fried is in that same detention center that he's being held at,
Yeah,
and
because
he got a federal case also.
like as in many instances, prisoners are not allowed like basic human rights. They're considered property of the state, and so a lot of ways it's why you don't really. There's a lot going on behind bars. However, the many times in terms of like violations of the sort, like to the nth degree of what Diddy's even talking about, like they don't have no rhyme or reason to kind of report those things because they're not seen as human beings; they're seen as property. So essentially, they are subjected to certain treatment, which is less than humane. So I have no sympathy for Diddy. And boo hoo, I can't have my computer. Oh boo hoo, I can write my notes. Oh boo hoo. But you crying about that, but you weren't crying when it came to being a willing participant in violating so many people, or being accessory to many folks being violated, including the women and minors that were at his party. So
Hmm.
fuck him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 200. Hey, Chili. I agree
Hey,
with you 210%, honey. And the only thing that I don't like, because I don't want the prosecution to do anything that's going to like hold them back for really prosecuting did. I don't want him to be released on any technicalities. So if they are lying about how they obtained those notes, like if they're saying they found the notes in Diddy's bunk, but really found it in his locker, that's like one of the only things I have a problem with because that's you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like build your case and do it right, but don't lie, especially in the court under oath. You know, but yeah, I don't fuck him and his rights. But the only reason I want the prosecution to be on top of it is just so that way that this man won't get released because his defense. You see, his defense attorney is trying to come up with any and every way to get this man out.
There,
it's
there, there are folks who have been subjected to way worse violations. They don't have the access or the access to money or access to power that would allow them such prosecution to kind of advocate on their behalf. So again,
Mhm.
I don't feel no ways about Diddy. Anything happened to Diddy in prison? Fuck him.
Yeah. You okay.
but there's nothing off limits that they can't search in there. Even your locker, which is what a plastic bucket. That's what they call their locker. They don't have a place that they can actually lock stuff up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. Now my opinion has changed though, because I'm thinking it was like a locker that was locked up.
No, unless this is some new stuff I've never heard of. Uh, I watch a lot of shows about people, in jail, and everybody has a plastic tub that they can keep their stuff in, and they call that their locker. They keep all their belongings in there. So they don't have a place to lock stuff up.
Huh? Well, yep. Well, there you go.
And when they do the cell searches, they search all of that. You know, there's nothing off limits to a search. So I'm not sure what he means by that.
That's just the defense making sure they get do their money's worth, honey. Because I'm sure they're being paid a pretty penny, and they coming up with they trying to think of any way that they can.
To get him out of there. I get it.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Well, that was it on all the Diddy news I have. Now the next story I have here now because remember we were talking about Rosie O'Donnell's daughter the other day. So Rosie has actually come out and commented. And y'all see, I'm sharing the USA Today link on slide 5, and you see the headline: Rosie O'Donnell addresses daughter Chelsea's third arrest in 3 months. And I'm just skip to where she put it on her was it her IG story? Let me see. Oh, it was in a TikTok. It was in a TikTok. And she says, I just wanted to thank everybody for their kind words and wishes about Chelsea. And for all the people that told me they were going through something similar with a child or spouse or a brother or a lover, thank you for making me feel less alone. I think it's hard to be a public person sometimes, and it's hard for the children of those public people. She continued, but you know it is what it is in the culture today, and here we are. Yeah, it's that I'm with Rosie, honey. If you ever dealt with somebody going through an addiction, it's not easy. That's
in
all I
three
have to say.
in 3 months, that's a lot. She
Yeah.
she's really she needs help.
Prayers up for him. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's hard for anybody.
Now, this next story I have, I think the article is going to give y'all a little bit of trouble because I tried to read it once more, and it's from New York Times, and you know they behind the paywall. Now on my Google News app, it showed up just fine, and I was able to read it yesterday, but I forgot what I read most most of what I read. But anyway, y'all remember like back in October, they were petitioning to not have Chris Brown come to perform at Johannesburg, South Africa. So I
Oh,
guess it must the petition didn't really do anything because he's still performing over there, and now he has protesters coming out. And y'all see, I just posted this article here. Chris Brown Johannesburg show draws protests, and pretty much women's rights activists have petitioned for the singer to be denied a visa for the two shows that he has in South Africa because gender-based violence is very high in South Africa. That's all I can pretty much tell you about because everything else is covered by this paywall, and they ain't paying New York Times shit. So.
right. Look at his head. That boy needs help bad.
Now, I tell you what it needed, it ain't help. But let me not say too much on the recorded line. Anyway, next. Unless y'all had something to add to this, next.
Mm-mm. You won't give him too much thought.
So Pete Davidson came out and was talking about how much he made on while he was in SNL. Both he and Jason Sudeikis. And y'all will be surprised at the amount of money they were making. So you see, I just shared this article here was from Yahoo Entertainment, but the story is from Variety, it looks like. And Pete Davidson says SNL paid him like 3 grand an episode at the start. So he was saying how he wasn't really able to buy much because living in New York is very very expensive. And let me see. Let's see. Do you know what do you guys know what they paid us? And he spent 8 seasons. He was a cast member from 2014 to 2022. He says it's like 3 grand an episode. I think I got dinner. Jason Sudeikis shared a similar sentiment about his SNL salary, saying, "I mean, you don't make enough money to make big purchases. So I think New York Rent was probably the biggest purchase I made after writing my first year on SNL." And of course, the writers get paid more than the actors. Jason was hired as a writer in 2003 and later worked as a cast member for 9 seasons from 2005 to 2013. And it says other former SNL cast members uh, including James Austin Johnson, Julia Louise Dreyfus, Sarah Silverman, Sarah Sherman, Sherry O'Terry, Seth Meyers, Bowen Yang, and Rachel Dratch. They were all pretty much sharing the same sentiment of how they weren't really paid much. They just loved doing it. And Julia Louise Dreyfus said that she was like, I bought a pair of shoes that were out of her budget. And do you know how much those shoes were, y'all?
How much?
$75.
Damn.
What the hell?
Exactly. So they were working for as somebody. I think I remember telling y'all at working as an extra, you like doing background, how you don't get paid much, and anybody that's trying to do that full time is crazy because they're gonna starve.
So
Because let me,
2,000 episode. That's what 12,000 a month.
yep,
Well, minus the deductions, I'm sure. Social Security, blah blah blah. It ain't take home pay. Yeah, that's not a lot of money.
especially not in New York. They's not
But
gonna get
then
them.
all of them went on to become famous in other ways.
Yep.
That's the whole kicker to it. Is a career starter.
I was actually reading something else about because y'all know how they call him Pete with the meats and how Ariana Grande was going around saying that his dingling was like 10 something inches or whatever.
Hmm.
And he said in one of his stand-up specials that he hate that she did that because he's like, first of all, the girl is only like 5'3", so everything is gonna look big to her. So now what she did was set these other girls up for disappointment in the future because now they're gonna expect him like a whole monster, and he pull his pants down. They're gonna be like, well, damn, I was expecting the meats like Arby's.
Well, to be fair, he did get with Kim Kardashian after the fact, so
Yeah. I
hmm
mean, 10 inches is no slouch.
No, what he's saying is he don't really have 10 inches, or Ariana just small, and she thinks it's 10 inches because she's so small.
Uh, oh,
So now every girl that he gonna be with expecting 10 inches, and she could probably pull it down. He probably has maybe a solid 7.5 or 8, and he gonna set them
no.
girls up because they was expecting 10. They were like, well, where the rest of the inches at?
I see. Okay.
But yeah, and I think I remember telling y'all how much like let me see, for Law and Order SVU when I did background on that, they paid me $8 an hour. For the show Evil, when I did background on that, that was like they really didn't pay us hourly. They paid us like a daily rate. So I think that was like $160 for that. And keep in mind, you be on these sets all day. Like our for SVU, I got there. It was a little bit because we had to be there by 8 a.m. So I got there like around 7:45 to sign in and all of that. I didn't leave until like after 10 o'clock. So we was there. And so just imagine work all that time and only being paid $8 an hour. They feed you because those craft services be good as hell, but you you really just have to do it to for the love of the art. You can't do it to try to make a living because you're not gonna get far. But yeah, actors are drastically underpaid, and that's why I think it's a class action going around now. I need to find more information so I can sign up with it. Because the thing is, pretty much the class action that I was reading, the people that was doing background work in New York weren't even making minimum wage.
Wow.
So, well, that's that on that. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to talk about her. Azealia Banks. Azealia Banks alleged that she slept with Drake, that she hooked up with Drake. Calvin said, let me mute you. So, y'all see, I just shared on slide 8 this article from Hot New Hip Hop where it says Azealia Banks allegedly claims that she hooked up with Drake. And this started where, because she's actually on his side, where, because you know, how he's filed that lawsuit against Universal Music Group. And she says that he's gonna wake something up. I'm glad he's doing this or whatever. And then somebody said something about her like, why you on his dick? And she replied, damn, you want to suck Drake dick that bad? Oh no, excuse me, I got that wrong. The user asked her, damn, you want to suck Drake dick that bad? And in her response, she alleged that she has, and she was like, and did. She wrote simply. So that's all she said about it.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
I just don't.
I know
Then
she
again,
Blocked on Blue Sky. I know that.
Oop.
She's in one of those block packages,
Yeah.
like the Shade Room and Milagro and her. Yeah, she was in one of those packs.
Mm. I really wanted to like this girl. I really did. And I was actually a huge fan of that EP that she had, the 1991 EP. Woo, she put her coochie up in that EP. She did so good with that. But it was and when she was even like talking about when she went on Hot 97 and was talking about cultural appropriation and why she doesn't really respect Iggy Azalea and stuff like that, I was like, you know what, she made some really, really good points. But the rest of her can get the hell on somewhere. That girl is crazy. And she actually blocked me on Twitter from her old page, like back in when did this happen? I think maybe 2016. The only
Hmm.
thing I tweeted about her is Azealia Banks needs a publicist. She didn't like that, and she blocked the hell out of me, honey. Because
She's
any other
actually,
tweet I had of Azealia was like usually in support of her.
yeah, she's not bad. Her talent isn't bad. I mean, she has talent, but her craziness is way more.
Hmm. You remember when we were talking about Gemini's in our private jet last night? There you have it. That is a true Gemini woman. And child, let me tell you, boy moms ain't gonna never beat the allegations, honey. Let me say. So I got this next story, honey, with from also hot new hip hop on slide 9, where it says Mama D blasts haters after son Lil Scrappy welcomes a newborn as a single man. Yes,
Hmm.
he just had a baby with a girl that he is not with straight after getting divorced, or I don't even know if they fully divorced yet. I don't know if that divorce been finalized from Bambi. But anyway, Lil Scrappy went on Instagram. In fact, I'm actually see if I can play the video. I'm gonna play a couple of minutes of it, and then or a couple of seconds, then y'all tell me if it comes through or not. Give me 1 second. Oh, I'm just seeing this comment, Calvin. She put her coochie in it. Then I know the music is bad. Don't do that. So, okay, so what I'm gonna show or try attempt to show first is Lil Scrappy talking about it.
Having negative stuff to say about a kid, a baby, and me having a baby and I'm not with nobody. Like,
Okay, how did that sound for everybody?
Choppy.
It was choppy. Damn. So there you have it. I'm just gonna read what he says then. So Lil Scrappy in that video, he was saying that's ignorant as fuck. It'd be like you can't get mad at them because they probably not happy with their life. I'm happy with mine. I'm good. Any baby that comes in this world from me gonna be taken care of. I'ma love on them just like it's supposed to be done. I'm sorry, your mom and your daddy weren't there for you, but like I'll be there for mine. So little Scrappy mom, a boy mom, got up there and she pretty much co-signed him. She backs him up in the shade room's comments, and then she says she commented, you know what? Stop being critical on my son because you got a lot of women, got different kids by different men, and you ain't open your mouth then. So if I were y'all, I would stay the hell out of his business. Which is crazy because you know her story. She was a single mother as well, from what we
Mm.
know. And it's like, girl, what are you doing? You
and,
see some that boy moms are just not girls.
and a prostitute, and a
Oh,
man,
oh, oh,
and a
oh.
drug dealer,
Why she look
and
like the Joker?
You said why she look like the Joker?
Hmm.
And the thing is, I think Mama D is she is so entertaining. She, to me, is probably one of the best things about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She really is. She cracks me up. I can't stand her son though. I really don't like that man. And honestly, it started when I saw his homophobic response to when Frank Ocean came out as bisexual,
Hmm.
and I didn't like how he handled it. It's just it left a bad taste in my mouth with him. So, yeah, broken homes, honey, just broken family, and then he wanted them hotep ass niggas that swear out gay people is what they say that gay people are ruining the family dynamic and stuff like that. Meanwhile, you just got somebody pregnant you don't intend to be with.
Yeah,
Like
out here making single family homes. Come on, man.
really.
The call is coming from inside of the house. Like
Mhm.
there's no reason to speak on something that you do not identify with or you have a problem with if there wasn't something internally that you were battling yourself. Like what does it matter? And ultimately, a lot of times when folks tend to speak on queerness, homosexuality, whatever you want to, whatever language you want to use about it, it all boils down to the intimate act between two individuals, meaning the physical act, not necessarily how this person is attracted to another of the same sex or same gender, what have you, as it comes to emotional connection or anything of the sort. It all boils down to whether that person is doing between their legs with another person between their legs. So it's all very weird.
Mhm. I agree.
And something that's been going on since Jesus walked the earth. So, you know, all of this turmoil about it, it's never going to change. It's never going away.
Yes, indeed.
Live your own life.
I'm trying to, but these homophobes won't let me. Let me stop.
Yeah, they get on my nerves.
Oh my God. So Chris earthquake is 7.3 larger than Northridge earthquake in the 90s. Girl, y'all get y'all asses out of California.
That's a strong one.
Get y'all asses out of there, honey. Matter of fact, don't even worry about them donuts, girl. Just get out. Go to Arizona or somewhere. Chris, pack your shit up and go. Now, have y'all been seeing those rumors about Prince Harry and the Duchess Meghan getting a divorce and stuff like that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
You have seen them. Okay, so Prince Harry has actually come out to deny them. Thank goodness. Because I would have been a little. I don't really care about the royals, but I was really happy with these two. I was happy that a black girl was in that royal family. But
A black girl?
yes, black girl.
A black girl who's lived her life as an ambiguous white woman and only realized that she was black when the royals made her realize that she was black. Oh, I'm looking and I'm judging. And now apparently she's a Nigerian woman.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
come on, Jollof Rice.
And how can you be Nigerian when Nigerian is a nationality? Oh, okay. But
Hmm.
I'm glad that these still together.
They
Be the
are still
rebels they
together.
are.
They are indeed, and Prince Harry confirmed it. And y'all see, I just shared on slide 10 this article from USA Today. And Prince Harry, he had a conversation with a Times columnist and Dealbook founder Andrew Ross Sorkin. And let me get what it says. It says Prince Harry was asked how he navigates the intense public scrutiny that comes with the level of fame, which is often aimed at his relationship with Duchess Meghan. And Prince says, in quotes, there's articles left and right about, why are you doing independent events? Why are you doing them? Why aren't you doing them together? It's a good thing you in a way. I'm sorry, let me say that again. Sorkin said, is that a good thing for you in a way that there's so much interest in you? And Harry reflected that the media speculation is definitely not a good thing, adding, we've apparently divorced maybe 10, 12 times. So it's just like, what? It's hard to keep up with, but that's why you just sort of ignore it. The people I feel most sorry are about the people I feel most sorry about are the trolls. Their hopes are just built and built, and then it doesn't happen. So I feel sorry for them. So yep, their relationship is still good. They're not going nowhere. And trolls, Prince Harry feels sorry for you.
Mm.
And I really, really hate being in a position to where I have to agree with somebody like Sean Penn, because he is an awful, awful person and has been for quite some time. But he chewed a little bit with this one little thing, and I'm about to show y'all. So apparently there was going to be a movie about like how Trump got his rise, how Donald Trump got his rise to be the Trump that he is. The movie was is going to be called The Apprentice, and it's actually going to have Sebastian Sam starring as Trump.
Mm.
He was going to play a young Trump, and Donald Trump has actually threatened legal action because of this movie. Because it was probably going to tell the ins and outs and how he done lied, cheat, and steal to become the person that he is today. Let me see. Actor Sean Penn has some choice words for Hollywood. Let's see. The controversial biopic, The Apprentice, which focuses on the life of Donald Trump and faced a months long struggle to find U.S. distribution. He said it's kind of jaw dropping how afraid this business of mavericks, he put business of mavericks in quotes, is when they get a great film like that with great acting. They too can be afraid uh, as afraid as a piddly little Republican congressman. So earlier this year, Trump's campaign threatened legal action over what it called election interference on behalf of the apprentice filmmakers, heightened questions about the movie's ability to find its distribution despite its warm reception from critics and audiences. So it was saved when Bear Cliff Entertainment swooped in to distribute it. And let's see, it was going to have Sebastian Stan as Trump and Jeremy Strong as Roy Cohn. So Penn on Tuesday also slammed the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences, saying he doesn't get very excited for the Academy Awards unless it's a film he likes is being honored. Um, but yeah, he just pretty much said these people, they scared little bitches. They don't want to see the real tea, and that's why they're trying to block you from seeing shit. And I was like, ugh, why do I have to agree with Sean Penn? Ugh. I definitely wouldn't have paid to see the movie anyway. That's probably one of the movies I would have streamed or would have
Right.
or watched on one of those Chinese websites. but but no, I definitely wouldn't pay no money to go see it. And the last story I have for y'all today. Now this is yeah, 'cause you can tell it was kind of a slow news day. I don't know if y'all noticed because everybody keep talking about that gunman from New York. And you see, I don't know if y'all saw they released his picture
Mm.
without his face covering.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yep, I send it to you in the chat after the show. But honey, yes, you can see it smiling, everything. He just grinning from ear to ear. I'm like, oh. And then, I don't know if y'all saw yesterday. They tried to say that that man was
Light
a light skinned black man,
skin.
and I saw them. I said, look at them thin ass lips. That is nobody's light skinned black man, honey. Goodbye.
How they
That
even
man.
came up with that?
Uh, I don't
They thought
need.
it was Logic. That's who they thought that was.
Oh, Quinn, girl, I almost choked on my coffee. Oh my god. But anyway, the last story I have, y'all. Now this shit is crazy right here. Now this is actually some Italian news. It's Italian tea that's in the news, honey. Y'all mouth gonna drop because I know mine did. So y'all see, I just shared a link from The Guardian, and y'all see the headline: Italian nun arrested over links to powerful mafia network.
Not the
I
none.
know that's right. I know that's right. Because you cannot tell. Listen, you cannot tell me that them Catholics over there. You know what I'm saying? The Vatican is a standalone state for a reason. They able to do what they do because you know what I'm saying. There's parts of Italy that is definitely mob run, and it makes sense that you're gonna get the person that nobody's gonna expect. You know, this does not surprise me at all.
Mm-hmm.
The blood is thicker than the religion, huh? Yeah.
Baby, I was a little surprised because I didn't know any. You know, the only thing I know about Italy is what the Leaning Tower of Pisa or whatever. I don't. I'm not familiar with that much Italian. I mean, unless it's like New York Italians. But I feel like that's Americanized, so that's not really
In the
Italian.
Vatican.
Italian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in the Vatican. Mm-hmm. I know
They
that.
got mob. The mob originated in Italy, in southern Italy. Yeah, they and this is not a safe place. Let's put it like that.
Yes,
Um, but
and
I
I'm
think
just
also
learning.
too this is funny because you know during the pandemic they released like two different nun based like shows. They had like the killer nun or the assassin nun, and then they had something else about a nun. No, am I tripping? Y'all remember that?
I think the one that I'm thinking of it was an Amazon Prime show. What was the name of that damn show? It had Al Pacino in it,
I
and that
have no
lady
clue.
she was a killer nun up in that show.
So I feel like you know what I'm saying. Art imitating life. You feel me?
It's
They
not really surprising, actually.
It was to me, girl. I was a little surprised. I ain't gonna say- I'm like, damn. And y'all see Happy put in the chat a quote from the article. She has been a volunteer at San Vittore Prison in Milan since 2010 and has also worked in prisons in Pavia and Rome. So yeah, she's been volunteering at prisons. And let me see. Let me go back to this article. It says a nun was among 25 people arrested in Italy on suspicion of being part of a criminal gang with links to the country's most powerful mafia network. And is that pronounced the in Indragata? Indragata? We just gonna say Indragata for now. The nun is alleged to have been the conduit between the gangs and its associates in prison. Prosecutors in Brescia, northern Italy, said on Thursday today.
Mm.
A
I
former,
mean,
oh, go ahead, baby.
no, go ahead.
Let's see, a former counselor with the Brothers of Italy, the party led by the prime minister, and a former politician with the league, let's see, were also arrested with more than 1.8 million pounds in illicit earnings seized by police in the dawn raids across several towns in the Lombardy and Veneto regions, as well as Calabria in the south. The suspects are accused of crimes including extortion, arms and drugs trafficking, receiving stolen goods. You is that usury? I don't know that word. I'm sorry.
Usury.
Usury, thank you. Tax crimes, money laundering, and in the case of the league politician, vote buying. The Brothers
Uh,
of Italy politician is alleged to have made himself available to the gang during the execution of crimes. So the nun was named in the Italian press as Anna Donnelly. She's 57 years old, and according to Raw News, like Happy said earlier, she volunteered at those prisons. In February, she was one of the recipients of the Golden Pentanon, an annual Milanese Civic Award. She is accused of external complicity in mafia association and served to convey information from prison to the criminal group. Investigators say her spiritual role ensured connection with the prisoners and allowed her to have free access to the penitentiary facilities.
hmm
Child.
Wonder what she was getting in return.
Right, because they don't. I'm not familiar with like Catholic nuns like that, but I do know like don't they kind of like devote themselves to the Lord and like get rid of all their worldly possessions such as money.
Yeah,
Um,
but they may have been helping her family,
yeah,
giving
yeah,
money
yeah,
to her people,
yeah.
helping them out. She had no use for it.
Child, I was reading this, my mouth was open. I was like, I shouldn't be surprised, but I am. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Well, I mean, they're just people. I mean,
They supposed to be better people, better than us.
they they are. That's how they get away with the things that some of them do. It's because we believe that, and they're not as under much of scrutiny. Especially, I
Hello.
mean, look at how the male priests get away with abuse
Mhm.
for so
Yep.
long. That documentary I watched about this one priest who was working at this girl's school and just having sex freely with them, and nobody was doing anything about it. And these people they're just people.
What Donnie McClure said. We fall down.
Mm.
We don't quote that queen up in here, honey. That closeted queen. I don't see it for Miss McClurkin, honey. That sanctified sissy. Oh, honey, no. Mm-mm. Happy said, I'm guessing she was never patted down. She was not, honey. She probably.
Well, she was only she was just taking information back and forth. She wasn't transporting like drugs and stuff. She was just
She
relaying it.
probably was low key.
Maybe.
Who finna who? And Catholicism is like really big there. So who finna really be like, yeah, I'm gonna pat this nun down, and then gonna have to go fucking repent about it in confessional? Ain't nobody finna do that. They finna say you good, and
Yeah,
she
Hmm.
if the
relied on
temperature's
that.
here, everybody gets patted down. I don't care who it is. If you're going in, I mean, maybe over there it's different, but over here they don't give you that kind of isolation from it. You get patted down too. They watch you just like they watch any other visitor coming to the prison. So they even pat down their own guards. I mean, I watch a
Oh.
lot of shows about jail, you know, and that's how they caught one of their guards bringing in drugs. They surprised them with shakedowns too sometimes, searching their stuff.
Yep. I learned that from watching Orange is the New Black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they search everybody. So maybe the Vatican. I mean, maybe over there, since so many people are Catholic, it's the dominant religion over there. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them are involved in some way or other something illegal.
Hmm. Well, honey. Well, that was all the tea I had for us today. So y'all know I always like to ask, did y'all have any tea you wanted to share? Anything I might have missed in the news?
I want to know how they got this man picture without the mask.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can find it.
Did they make it up? Did they AI it? And while you
No,
go,
It looked like he was. I think he was at a Starbucks or something. Let me see.
oh, they followed him before the incident
Mm-hmm.
on camera. What I'll tell you about what this thing I heard on the Today Show in Switzerland, they have AI Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
They had trialing a 2 month period of having Jesus Christ behind the confessional on a computer screen, and people are confessing to this AI Christ, and then there it's an experiment on how much people trust technology, and people were really interacting with it, and the majority of people, you fill out a survey after you talk to it, and they were actually enjoying the experience, and they've received inquiries about it from other countries, schools, all kinds of things were interested in the technology for AI Jesus. I'm like,
Mm-mm. All right. Like, do
ah,
these people not know that your confessions are like being used to train these AI?
well, they said, and they gave you a disclaimer like, don't tell it any, really personal information. It is, a computer, and it's not Jesus. But you know, people are going in the confessional. What do you think they're gonna? I mean, it's supposed to. You're supposed to tell it stuff that you're not telling other people. I thought it was kind of a weird use,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
it's available 24/7 as opposed to a regular priest. Not having those kinds of hours of availability. I'm like, huh, okay.
I don't know. And then doesn't it kind of because I'm not, even though I was raised Baptist, I'm not the most religious person out here. But it doesn't it kind of like fall into the conversation about false gods and false
Mm,
idols? And that's a no no in.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I don't like it.
Well, the hosts weren't, about it either, but it was a story, and that's what was going on. So,
Ugh.
and of course, you know what it was. White man.
Hmm.
Oh wow, yeah, he about to get identified in a minute. Somebody gonna claim that 10 grand.
Okay, he got a nice smile. I wonder if this is a smile before or after he shot that man.
Hmm. I so I guess he wasn't so smart after all, because he should have stayed masked up the whole time he was in that area, knowing the cameras that are out there. Wow.
Mm.
Well, I guess he'll be identified shortly.
I wish I knew his ass, 'cause like you said, I could use 10 grand right.
Yeah, ten
I would
grand
tear his
reward.
ass in so fast.
Mm, mm,
You know
mm.
what? No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because as much as I hate to say this, and yeah, I'm aware this is a recorded line, but I don't want to say something like this needed to happen, but it's like we kind of know, and chill, in working, being a retired health professional, honey, how universal
Mm-hmm.
um that insurance is.
It's,
Mm-mm.
yeah, so many stories, so many threads from
And
patients and doctors about being denied one thing or another, changing their meds, actually dictating care, you
mhm,
know, when they've already tried things that didn't work, wanting to go back down and start over and try the things that didn't work before they give them the thing that will work. It's been a lot of that, because I follow a lot of medical people, and they're
mhm,
always complaining about the pre-authorizations and what they have to go through to get the care for their patients that they need, and the review process, and how when you actually get to talk to someone and appeal a peer, it's not even your peer. You may be appealing a denial for a knee replacement, and they have you talking to a gynecologist. Like, they do
mm-mm,
have doctors that work for these companies, but they're not your peer. And it's very frustrating to them, because how can a person who's not even in the specialty make a decision about what you're telling them? They're not even in your same lane, so it's pretty bad. And now they're using AI to
mhm,
deny cases, and they have nurses making notes and denying cases, and they're supposed to go over it, but it's a metric of how many you do and not how well you do. That was a
mhm,
ProPublica article. One woman was saying she thought she was doing so well. She found so many mistakes that the nurses made in denying, certain things, and she would spend time going through the cases and correcting it. But of course, her output was slower than other people, and that's what they actually were looking at. They claimed they weren't measuring that, but that was something that they look at: how many cases you could go through, and not, how well you could do. So it's a lot. It's a lot. This is why the lack of sympathy for this man is totally understandable, from what I've
mhm.
been seeing over the years on Twitter. So,
Over the years, honey. And I
years.
said universal earlier. I meant United Healthcare. My bad.
Hmm. Yeah.
Chris, hey boo.
No shade, but kind of looks like somebody y'all know.
Oh, oh, oh.
What's up, Chris?
Or maybe he got the mic by accident.
Maybe.
Totally did not mean to come up to the mic, but hey, everyone.
Hey, boo.
Hey,
I was
boo.
trying to get out one car and get into the other.
Oh, go back down, Chris.
Get back to work. Well,
Yeah.
did y'all have any other tea to talk about?
Mm, not me.
Oh, well, thank y'all for coming to sip with me. Like I said, we'll be here tomorrow, same time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in the meantime, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.
Bye, everybody.